Well, today marked the first inch of snowfall for Rochester, and people all across the region were feeling the cold, a lot of them on their way to work this morning.
KGDC's Matt Rainier was in town checking with locals and the Minnesota Department of Transportation to see how they handled the snow. He gives us an early season refresher course in winter driving.
It might still be October, but the winter season has arrived in Rochester. The city experienced more than 1 inch of snow this morning, making the driving conditions difficult. MnDOT spokesman Mike Doherty spoke on how the unique conditions of today's snowfall forced them to take extra steps to ensure the roads were up to par, while also preventing the conditions from getting worse.
But when that wind is blowing, they've got to be careful, so they'll scrape that snow off and try to get that ground back to bare pavement. But if we're putting salt down at the time that wind is blowing snow over it, it'll melt, freeze again, and create a bigger problem.
While snowplows were hard at work to keep the roads clear, drivers around the area still face adverse conditions when on the roads.
And my neighborhood didn't seem to be plowed and was a little bit icy. My car kind of slipped a little bit coming out of my driveway.
With my car in general, it's really big, pretty bulky kind of car, so I have to take it kind of slow on the roads, and it doesn't have the best traction. It's just two-wheeled.
Yeah, well, I live on a low-maintenance road, so it's usually one of the last ones to be plowed, and I know that, and I come to expect that every year, so I have learned a lot of patience.
As Rochester and southeast Minnesota face the start of snow season, Doherty says now is the perfect time for drivers to evaluate their situation following today's snowfall.
Yeah, well, this is sort of a good test run. You know, how did your vehicle do? How was your driving? Now's the time to make adjustments because our weather's going to fluctuate back up, but there's more winter ahead.
Reporting in Rochester, Matt Rainier, KTTC News.
This year marked the 4th heaviest snowfall on Halloween in Rochester's history. Actually the 5th, isn't that right, Nick? 5th? 4th. With the city seeing more than 1.5 inches in 1995 and more than 3 inches in 1929.